I was thinking we were already live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to welcome to Quad V, where tonight we'll be bringing you the finals of the Arctic Challenge. eSuba playing up against BallerS. Knife Front has already gotten away. I myself am Menace, and I'm co-commentating. I am commentating alongside Peter. Peter, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I got the old headache every now and again, but can't complain.
It's all good enough. For anyone that doesn't know, Peter is an actual competitive player, so got some insight coming in here from Team Fragmasters. And for anyone that doesn't know, they have got a Facebook page, so go like them. They do enjoy their Facebook page likes, if I'm not mistaken.
That is Dan's little hobby. He likes to get his likes. It makes him feel special. All nice and warm, fuzzy inside. So yeah, go make him happy for me.
Right, now clearly some background on these two teams. Looking over the brackets, we saw eSuba beating Escape, the Polish team, in the first round. Moving on into the quarterfinals, they beat eArinus, I believe is how you pronounce it. Then in the semi-finals, we saw them take out Team Rock.Asus, and then of course that placed them in the finals here. Then for the BallerS side, we saw them sort of taking out NeoKid, moving on to take out the French team of SacG, and then I doubt that's how you pronounce it in French, probably like Sacré or something. I don't know, I'm not French, I'm South African. And then of course they beat IMEX 2-0 to take them into the finals. And they are doing elimination here at the moment. Crash, I believe they have eliminated, so we're going on to Strike. Am I correct, Peter? You've been watching, I was reading the playoffs.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to Strike. Obviously, BallerS are quite an up-and-coming team. They've got a lot of talent in there. Tomsky from Infused. I think they're currently sitting 10th in the CGA ladder. Well, they just joined the league very, very late, and to come get that high up so quickly and so easily really just show how strong they are in the scene right now. So obviously, eSuba, good COD 4 powerhouse organisation behind them, well-known names, well-loved team. So I think it'd be interesting to watch these two play in the final tonight.
Definitely. I mean, of course, looking back at a little bit of the history of the eSuba side, we recently watched them play up against Team Rock.Asus last night. They seemed very strong. They did take it to a 3-mapper and then go into overtime in the end. So, it was close, but they still stood strong at the end. Before that, we saw them, I believe, take on a Nexus in a CGI match, and then Lowland Lions in the Corsair Vengeance Challenge. So, they've come a pretty long way themselves. And every single time I watch them, they're always coming out with something new, trying something different. So they're definitely a team that's adapting and really starting to fall into I was about to say their skill gap. They're not falling into they're kind of like fitting into their shoes, trying on some clothing and finding out what works for them.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, eSuba have had a bit longer to try on the latest jersey, if you like. Have a bit more experience, a bit more time to work together than BallerS, but BallerS are, like I said, quite talented, quite a new up-and-coming team, and I think they can easily take us back.
Now, they're having another knife round, of course, on the Strike map, which is now the first map being played. This is a best of 3, so first team with 2 maps under the name will take the title. For the BallerS side, we have John, Tom, Rapture, Distant, and Vithos. And then for the eSuba side, we have Mysac, Finter, Saxaxis, Troom, and Trunk. And Peter, right off the bat, where do you think this one's going to sway to?
It's really hard to tell, to be honest with you. eSuba, if they're on form, can, I think, quite easily take this game away. But over recent weeks, over recent months, I don't think they have been. So I'm going to go with a 13-10 in favour of BallerS.
First map, I'm going to have to say, I think eSuba have got this one. I feel confident with what I've seen them playing on Strike. So I'm pretty sure they would have nailed down the teamwork by now. And it's really going to come down to, and what we've been seeing a lot of teams, come down to is just them ironing out those little details. Pushing A is all great and well, but if you don't just have like that one person covering the mid street for the rotate, then, it's completely flawed. So, having just those little people in place, making sure that the tactics are solid for each bomb side, I think is going to make the real difference here, as we do wait for one more play to ready up. So, here we go, first round, Arctic Challenge, Call of Duty 4 Finals. And let me stick to my tradition and take it away with the scopes. I'm going to start it off here with Distant, as we do see the rest of the team pretty much going for a B push off the bat. He is going to be going with them. It does actually seem to be turning into a split and pick, as 2 players also go towards the A side. This is very standard play for teams on Strike, who will first try and figure out how their opponent is playing, and then adapt it from that into the second round. We do see Mysac taking out Vithos. Fencer peeking around in that mid area. Can't find much. Distant has actually fallen all the way back to that hotel area. And he's now trying to get some picks into A. But here we see the eSuba side sitting solid. And they are not budging at all. The team coverage is very well spread out from them. Troom getting tagged up, but he's in a great position that he can just fall back and regen his health. So he's got nothing to worry about. Mysak sitting back on this B side. Finta picks off Rapture. Finta with a second one as he takes out Distance. Can he find that third? No, Saxax is going to come in there and steal it. And, you know, we see that extremely slow play to find out the other team, or they just go for the full-out rush. And we see BallerS with a really slow play their first round. Do you think it worked out as well as it could have for them that round?
In all fairness, I think eSuba played that very well. Sat in deep, in calculated positions where they can anticipate the enemy's movement, wait and see what the BallerS are going to do. And as we see here, Super Troom is getting into A, but BallerS are pushing into that site now, and they have managed to secure that bomb site. eSuba have got a lot of work, got to push back into that A side building. But we do have Finty in that sniper house area as the rest are rotating around from B. One is flanking round, and he does have the potential to do a lot of damage here, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to pull this round back. But having a look now, we do have Finty trying to get that pick into A. Success will find Rapture. They're in a 3 versus 3 situation as BallerS are sitting in, just waiting for the eSuba players to push on in. eSuba are going to be putting the pressure on here. There is only 30 seconds remaining to get that bomb defused down. As Mysak pushing into BallerS' hands here. BallerS distant will take down Success, but Finty will find Vithos. John left for find. He will find Mysak. Finty's the last one on the site. He doesn't know he's not defused, and Finty will take that back. Beautiful play by eSuba as they just managed to get back into that A site, make BallerS make the mistakes, and pick them off and get that defused down.
Close. The second run, and my leg muscles are already tensing up at how close that bomb defuse was. But you know, eSuba reapplying that pressure, and you know, we saw, I believe it was Disson who did actually push out a bit while trying to defend that bomb site. And I think it's actually like the good mix to have between defending that bomb site and still trying to apply some pressure, so you can still distract the people walking in instead of just sitting behind a wall and being picked off. Well, we do see Trunk that has pushed that mid-street, going to be walking into the front of A, of course, catching Tom off guard, but Vithos is quickly on hand to get that revenge frag. Disson moving towards the back of that cafe, should be able to find a pick here onto Finta. Can he? No, Finta has fallen back, taking a very, very, very safe position. He is still in a nadeable position, so he's got to be careful for that. But this late into the game, they shouldn't be expecting it too much from a scope and 2 SMGs. Distant flicking around. Finta has got that nade, lands it onto Distant. Finta again coming up big for his team as he drops Distant. Can he find the last one in the form of Vithos? Or has Vithos got too many bullets flying towards him right now? And spray does come all the way from Saxax from the cafe side. And you know, that surrounding pressure from eSuba just overwhelming Vithos there in the end. And we do see them pick up another round.
Finty definitely proving to be a vital player for eSuba here. BallerS seem to be getting hold of the A side, but once they're in there and got the bomb down, they just can't hold it. Finty just manages to pick them all off, and there's not much they can do about it at this stage of the game. But we will see BallerS going for what appears to be a B push this time around, or it could just be thrown. No, they're going for a split, in fact. The bomb is on the A side, so it would indicate that they're going to be pushing that A side. As the scopes are exchanging frag, Sectors has and Distant have both been found on both teams, as Vithos will fall to a grenade. 3 left for BallerS now, with Tomsky remaining on that B side, putting the pressure on, allowing his teammates on A well, creep the way in without much resistance. It does seem to be working with 3 players spread out over B, with only Rapture remaining on that A site. He has found Troom, as John, Tom and Rapture remain for BallerS. John here, finding Finte, as eSuba are now in a spot of trouble. There is one on B, and that B defender has heard Tom lurking around outside him, as Rapture will find Trunk. Mysak now the last man standing, he will find John. So he's lurking around that middle street. Mysak will spot one, only managed to get the tag. Surely he's going to find that SMG in that alleyway. He does find him, tags him, but fails to land that frag, leaving out now behind into that street. Mysak knows that bomb is about to go down on A. He has to rotate over, he has to try and stop that plant, but it's just a few seconds too late as he will try and push in. The bullets are spraying in all around him. Surely they're going to take each other out any second now. He has managed to tag up that Taps player once again. Mysak sensing this enemy's movement on that double palm, will try and get the kill, but Tomsky will shut him down. BallerS getting the first round of the game.
Oh, we see Tomsky there with vital distraction play, just constantly peeking out there towards Mysak and not allowing him really the chance to just push forward without constantly having the thought of there's a player right behind me who can shoot me at any second. And of course, completely distracting him and unable to get to that bomb site in time. We see the exchanging opening nades go out. Xax is there with a frag there onto Vithos, putting his team the one man into the lead. Lucy Trunk pushing out onto this cafe side, distance caught off guard. And now we're reduced right back to 2 BallerS players. And this is really not the way BallerS want to go into the round after just winning the previous one. We do see Xax is closing it off there onto John. 4-1 is your scoreline. And BallerS running away with it at the moment.
Quite aggressive play from, do you mean eSuba running away with it at the moment? I think you do.
I do.
eSuba a bit more aggressive that time round though, didn't they? They realised sitting back wasn't quite working for them anymore. They got a bit more aggressive, got more in the BallerS space to manage to shut them down. And it does look like we're going to be seeing the same again with both of the eSuba SMGs on the 8. They are going to be under pressure. Distant and Rapture will find frags on 2 eSuba players. Tom leaping over, finding Troom as 2 players remain for eSuba. Mysak and Finty know they have a lot to do here. They know they've got a lot of pressure on them. Finty has proven he's got the capability to shut them down, but Distant says no. Landing that nade frag on him as Mysak gets tagged up in the middle of the road. Rapture will shut that round as BallerS run straight into A.
And that's what I mentioned from the previous rounds, you know, as safe as that spot is behind double palms, later into the round, BallerS are going to realize that, you know, if Finter keeps sitting back towards that area, they're just going to keep a nade and just wait it up and throw it there. You know, it worked out perfectly that round. They didn't have to expose themselves to try to take out Finter. They just threw a nade towards there and, you know, took him out in the exact same way. We do see Troom taking out John and Tom with the opening nade there. Rapture heavily tagged up in this mid-shops area is, of course, going to have a whole bunch of eSuba players looking towards him right now. The question is, can he get a pick? No. Trunk is on form with his aim tonight as he takes out Rapture. Mysak onto distance, and Vithos, who's the last man standing, is going to try and land the deagle here onto Mysak. He does do so. He's got the bomb just out towards Cafe, spraying out into that doorway a bit, seeing if he can find anything. Now we'll have Vithos pushing into Cafe. Does take it out onto Troom. He's already got 2 of the 4 players he needs to find. Can he find another here? He knows where Trunk is. He does take him out. Last man now standing is Finter. But if anyone could do it for his team right now, he could. The thing is, he's already lost 3 of his teammates. Vithos are going to be pumped up right now. He knows there's an opportunity in here for him to bring this round back for his team. And it's a round they so desperately need, bringing the round gap back to only 1, and Finter is literally looking right over Vithos. I think he has finally spotted him. Vithos is moving out towards that B side. He's actually walking around towards Garage. Finter now being a little bit careful here as he has heard Vithos. Vithos going for the plant there on that B bomb site. Finter now knows that he's right there behind it, but Vithos actually stands up, cancels the bomb plant and picks off Finter. 1 versus 4 from Vithos. Absolutely phenomenal play there from him. Brilliant game sense, and what a way to finish off that round.
Ball started off with Mysak pushing around behind, and he did manage to get that Deagle frag. How he managed to even get that frag, it's down to me really. Distant is opening up this round now onto his room. Ball players remaining so early on in the round as Distant will find a second. Distant proving to be a vital player for the BallerS side as Sexas will find Tomsky. Trunk in a spot of trouble. There is 2 people in Cafe. Surely he's going to spot 1. Possibly he's going to get taken out, but he will find Vithos. There is one more on the left side of Cafe. Trunk and Sexas with it all to do as bullets are raining in towards all players here. Trunk in daring, getting a bit risky, trying to flank round, trying to help out his teammate, but it's just a bit too late with the Rapture shutting down Sexas. Trunk now spotted on the street, trying to deagle, failing to get even a tag. Surely he's going to get taken out by that player in the B-Link area. There's not much he can do here. That player has so good cover.
Explosives planted.
He will be looking to try and cross the road of doom, as I like to call it. Trunk here, rushing across. I'm not quite sure what that BallerS player is doing, but John will find the frag. BallerS even in this game back up now, 4 apiece.
BallerS really seem to be adapting to the playstyle of eSuba. Instead of going for that slow round that they have, they're allowing eSuba the chance to push out. eSuba are taking it and falling right into BallerS trap. And it's really going to start hurting there on that round score. We do see Finter starting off here, taking out Distant, who proved to be a pretty strong player the previous round. We do actually see Tom pushing all the way forward, but Trunk right on top of that, taking out Tom and Rapture. Troom chiming into the frag to take out Vithos. And we see a 1 versus 5. Let's see if John could... No, I was about to say, if he could live up to the name of Vithos, but unfortunately not.
BallerS defense seems to be the eSuba defense seems to be all or nothing really. They either get it taken out really early, or they seem to take out the enemy players really early. It's quite a risky strategy here from the team. I'd expect a bit more, patience and a bit more confidence from them, but it does seem to be working this round as Troom does get that nade back onto Rapture. BallerS here grinding to a halt, hanging around in that courtyard area and in that underlock. If eSuba can just sit tight, hold in, they shouldn't be able to get a pick right now. Obviously the eSuba players are getting a bit restless. They are trying to rattle the BallerS cage a little bit here, as BallerS are positioning themselves behind Back Cafe, trying to get that push through. As soon as they do that, they are going to be in a lot of trouble. Two eSuba players are waiting, are lurking outside the Back Cafe. Tom's managing to find Sexas as Vithos smokes that A bin, ready for the push. Troom is laying in wait in Cafe, just wishing and willing one of the BallerS players to push on through, but the smoke was a decoy. They're not going to go for it, as one is peeking through that back calf. A lot of movement now. They know there's one on the right side of the calf, and they think where they're sitting is clear. Tomsky will find Chunk, as surely Chunk's going to do a lot of damage. He has killed one, does have the bomb, will spot another, but Tomsky will shut him down. 3 players remaining now for BallerS, as Myzak and Finty have to reclaim that site once again. Tomsky trying to shut down Top Flowers, has tagged him, maybe he's going to fall to his death. No, he doesn't. Myzak inching away with just a fraction of his life force remaining.
Explosives planted.
Distance, shutting down Finty, and it all falls down to Myzak. Has been spotted, he is on that road, but he's not going down without a fight, tagging up Tomsky, but Tomsky will show him down. 5 apiece now for both teams, and this is just going tick for tack.
It really is, but the fact is, eSuba were up 4-1. I mean, they really had the advantage in their favour, and it's slipped away from them. You know, all that momentum is gone. Maybe BallerS have just slipped into their groove here a bit and feeling a lot more comfortable in the game, and we do see a lot better play coming out from these guys. Now, let's see how this round develops. We do see John with the opening nade. Distant in that cafe already is going to be pushing out. I think he has naded the statue, nearly nades himself and a teammate. So close, Tom pushing onto Trunky, and it seems the BallerS A push is decimating the defenses of the eSuba side. I'll see Distance sitting back, he's got one just off to his right, could peek up any second and pick up a frag. No, he won't, just barely misses it. We see Myzak taking out Rapture from that hotel area, bomb's going to go down. Where is Finter? He's going to be the one coming in from behind. Tom takes out Sex Axes, and it's down to only 2 eSuba players. And make that only 1. It's all on Finter now. He has taken out 1. He's seen bullets flying in from a second location, and he has actually spotted that player. Who is it? It is John. Now back to Finter. He spotted the player in Cafe. Tom takes out Finter though, and the long range peek with that AK. That's going to take it to 6-5, and BallerS take the lead for the first time.
Dude, we're really seeming to just give that site away now. They need to get in there, or at least push the street and try and take control at some part of the map near that A site. If they let them get control of it again, I'm not quite sure they can take that site back any longer. They might have just got lucky in the first few rounds, but it could just be that BallerS have managed to counter their defense. John pushing down Sexas as they did try and secure that road, but Trunk has managed to push towards that garage area. Will spot one, managing to take him down, but surely he's going to get taken down for Flowers, but no, he doesn't. Dashes away. He has got tight on the back of his leg, but apart from that, he's gotten away unscathed. Troom finding John as BallerS find themselves on the back foot here once again. This is where BallerS seem to shine though. They do seem to flourish in these situations where they are a man down. Is Tomsky still alive? No, he isn't. This could be a big downside. Tomsky in the past during this map has managed to get into those vital positions, has managed to get the fix. But Vithos doing Tomsky's job, shutting down Finte as 3 players are now up for both sides. Vithos has given away his position there as he will try and dart away to safety, but it's a long way to push, a long way to cross. Surely he's going to get taken down from Bialy. He's on that car, bullets have been shot all around him, he has been spotted, but managed to get away with it so far. Distant shutting down Truman, not quite sure how he got away with this. As he tries to push across the A site, Trunk getting shut down, and Myzak once again the last man standing. How is he the last one alive so often, so frequently? Surely he should be helping his teammates out a bit quicker here. There is one right where he's looking, but he can't see him. He is prone behind those concrete blocks, and there's another one just millimeters away from his current position. Jumping out on the wall, he has been spotted. Abin's darting back to safety as Myzak knows his tempting Mission Impossible here. He's leaping around and will try and take out Statue, but Rapture says no, shutting him down. And BallerS have just taken this game from what looked so disappointing to something they can actually feel confident in the second half.
Definitely, I mean, going on to the defensive side, their task is made a lot easier by the fact that they just need to defend the bomb site. They don't need to try and push in and try and, get that bomb down. And, 7-5 is a very respectable score on the attacking side. Now, of course, they're moving on to defense. Having a look over at the scoreboards, we do actually see a very even scoreboard from either team, which is rather uncommon. You usually have the 1, 2, maybe even 3 players that are playing exceptionally well, and then the 1 guy or 2 guys that aren't playing so well. We see John there in 4 for 3, but he did have a disconnect. I believe his frags were around 4 by the time he disconnected. So again, very even frags from both of these teams.
I will say this though, for Myzak, he may be bottom of the scoreboard, but he has pulled off some spectacular plays, pushing around through their spawn and just managing to get behind them and wreak some havoc. He really should have picked up a few more frags, but he got unlucky on a few points, getting taken out by a Deagle. Maybe his aim could have improved a little bit, but apart from that, there wasn't much he could do. Tomsky as well, managing to, well, he was the key to success in quite a few of those clutch rounds for BallerS, and without these 2 players, I think both teams would be struggling a lot more than they are currently.
And that, that one round from Troom on Statue. Oh man, that hurt me to watch. The fact that he had the opportunity for the 2-man and then gets completely denied.
It must be heart-wrenching when those sort of things go down.
It does happen though, and we have to take that into consideration. Sometimes players just get unlucky. And we do see the Angel sitting on the BallerS shoulders right now. Tomsky is going to be pushing into this A side. Pops his flash out towards Cafe, but he's going to absolutely no one pushing him except for Trunk, who is going to be on this A side. Pretty much the rest of eSuba are over towards B. Distant taking out X-Axis with that scope. Finta is actually the man with the bomb. It's not often you see the scope carrying the bomb. And he has heard a player here just in front of him. John's going to be pushing around the corner. He's got a player just off to his right. He can easily pick up this frag and does do so. Takes out Troom. And when we see BallerS opening themselves up with a very strong round here, we do see John taking out the last player there in the form of Finta. And that'll take it to 5-8 and putting BallerS 3 rounds into the lead.
The question is, can we be looking at my predicted 10-8 scoreline? That is the question here. It's on my mind at the very least.
Do you say 10-8 or do you mean 13-8?
13-8, sorry, my bad. Long day then, long day. Anyway, going into this game now. eSuba trying to push A, but Trunk getting taken out by an courtyard rush nade. Troom, however, is in there finding one, but Vital shutting him down. Rapture falling to his knees. 3 players remaining on what is a promising push from eSuba. Myzak is finding Vitos, and BallerS know they have a lot to do. Distant nading that site, trying to stop the bomb plant from going down, trying to stop the pressure. But Distant finding Myzak once again. Beautiful play there by Distant. Clearly a key player for the BallerS side, racking up the kills left, right and centre later on into the game. Bomb plant is going down on the A side once again. BallerS know they have to at least find one so they can get the pressure, so they team up on the enemy player. But they know that Overlook guy is not going to go down easily, so they choose to smoke him out instead. There's one on the right side. They have spotted him. Distant getting the angle as Sexas will take out his teammate, but Distant knows he's got a lot to do here. It's 25 seconds. He's got a lot of time to play with as they sit across that top Overlook area. Surely Distant's gonna get this pick here. He does spot him. Will shoot, going away his position. Will fake it again. Spot aim in those windows. Surely he's gonna get picked. Surely he's gonna get picked, but no, he doesn't. Smart play from Finty goes out here. If only he can land the frag. And he, oh, he's so calm. My heart would be in. If Distant had gone away with that, Finty would have had nightmares all this week.
I would have done the casual stand-up spin and jump tactic. Seems I believe it was the tactic you always taught us. Just spin.
Always spin.
When in doubt, spin.
Yes, exactly. Never fails. Okay, it mainly fails, but
yeah,
every now and again it doesn't.
It gives you that 2% hope that something might happen.
Exactly. They might lag out from the FPS it creates.
Now, following here on Tomsky as he's once again pushing this campfire side, we do see a kind of 4 men sitting towards B and mid side while Trunk pushes A, and I don't think it's working out too well for them. Finta gets a peek onto Distant. That's a very vital pick there. It's going to make that long distance play a lot more comfortable for the eSuba side, giving them the freedom of moving around just a little bit more. Tomsky still sitting tight. Sax is spraying through the wall, taking out Vithos. Vithos so stunned he did not even attempt to get away from that one. And it seems like eSuba are rotating back towards his A side. Shroom has grabbed a frag of his own as Trunk takes out Tom. And it is now all down to Mr. Rapture, but he's got an AK. Vince has got the bomb planting on B. Can he stop it? No. Shroom is on call. And that'll take the round to eSuba. Score now 7-8.
Well played by eSuba here. They were a few rounds down. They must have been slightly demoralised, and to come back this far, only one round behind now, is really an accomplishment, and they really need to carry this momentum on throughout the rest of the game. If they can, I think they can pull this back, but it's going to be a big ask for the team. Anyway, we are seeing them going for a split round, but the bomb is on the B side. They will be focusing over on that B. We do have Myzak in the mid shop. Surely he can get a frag over towards Garage, as indeed teammate is about to push around that corner into Danger's hands. Myzak getting tagged up, and they know there's one Garage. They might wallbang him here, and if they do, he could be in a whole heap of trouble. Myzak once again getting spotted, as Tom will find Shroom. eSuba are trying to get into A. They are pinned in Cafe at the moment, with only Tomsky penning them in. But penning them in he is, taking down Trunk with only one remaining on that A side on the right hand side, jumping to the left. Tomsky knows he's got the advantage, will be trying to finish him off, as he does and gets the remaining now for eSuba. It is Sexas. He does have the deagle in hand, and he needs to find Tomsky. Will be free aiming around the corner. Will try and take him down, but switches weapons. That could have cost him the game. That tiny little error, that tiny little mistake. 7-9 out in favour of BallerS.
7-9, and looking over at the scoreboard, we still don't see anyone standing out, and I find this rather exceptional because you generally always have that one or two players that really stand up for the team. But it seems the teamwork is in abundance for both of these sides, and they're all working together to equally distribute those frags. BallerS on top of this though, as Vithos and Tom both grab frags. There's absolutely no contention as he casually strolls in here. And will BallerS by any chance react on this? Will they realize that they've got no one on this B side? John drops down, but is a little late as Shroom picks him off in the head. Tomsky's now left on his own on that A side. Distant picks off Shroom as Shroom actually makes his way to the top of that spawn building. You see, but only a man down. They can still pull this one back. Bomb is going down here by Sax. He does actually get it down, and is going into a position that is very commonly used, but it seems to work for him as he catches Distant off guard. He is seeing spray coming from just off to his right. His teammates behind him, Finter, helping with that cover on that B side. Absolutely exceptional team play from these two last men standing, and they will bring that back from a 2v3 to win the round.
Beautiful round and beautiful team play. That's what eSuba was all about, and that's what they just showed in that round. Once again, they do seem to be going for a split. Trunk with a risky A push. He didn't have the best of spawns, but he's managing to get himself in there relatively unscathed. Surely is going to find one as they push in. Will take down Tom. There is another lurking on that A bin. Gene does need to shut down and able to make that cross. Myzak finding Vithos, and BallerS know that this round could be eSuba's if they don't step up their game right now. Trunk hesitant, pre-firing on that A-bin, trying to help his teammates. Sexas goes huge, taking down two. Rapture taking down Finte in response, but Myzak will finish off the round, taking out Rapture, and it's even Stevens.
I know we can clearly see the difference between the 4 versus 1 that Rapture had and the 4 versus 1 that Vithos had, where Vithos could easily pick them off one by one, but eSuba just running in full force, all 4 players surrounding him and not giving him a single chance to bring that round back. And we do see Trunk once again pushing into this A side. He's got to play it off just to his right. Will he be able to pick up this frag? No, he won't. Rapture coming out on top of that situation as he finishes off Trunk. And we also see Myzak dropping. Trim back on this B side. Can he get into this B side once again? And it is John that's just in there that's going to be stopping him. But they're getting so close to each other. Will Trim turn around? No, he won't. John picks him off, and it is all down to Finter. The scope for the eSuba side. The man that started off so well. Can he close off this round in the exact same style? He's peeking over towards A. He hasn't got that bomb with him. It's going to be one of his first priorities to go and pick up that bomb. Dropping down into mid. He's running from cover to cover at the moment as he doesn't want to overexpose himself. But John coming around from the side, pushing out of the B side, and will take him down, bringing it to 10-9 as BallerS hold on to that lead.
Finte here does seem to be the last man standing a bit too often here. Maybe, I don't want to say baiting, but along those lines. So maybe he needs to get in a bit more aggression.
So he's playing like me.
Help his teammates. he likes to sit in spawn house and watch his teammates die and take the glory, basically. But at the moment, it's failing to take the glory, and it's just not working out for him. And it's costing his team the rounds. But eSuba are getting shut down here. My second Sexax go down while I'm talking with only one BallerS player going down in response. John shouting out cries of despair as Finte is once again, Dennis, the last man standing. What is he playing at? How is he the last man standing so often? I do not even understand.
I think it's more the fact that, you know, his teammates are pushing and he's trying to give them a cover. You know, sitting in overlook, you can't really say that's sitting back too much. He's in a, you know, an exposing position. He's trying to lay down some cover for his team, but, you know, while he's doing that, there's two SMGs pushing underlook, annihilating his team. So he's kind of like, oh, I guess I should get there quicker. So just a little bit of unfortunate him, you know, BallerS trying out their tactics, and it really seems to be working for them. We do see Vithos pushing out towards the B-link. There's a play just off to his left. Can he land the kill? Unfortunately, not Shroom's going to take out Vithos, but John in there with the reply. As Finter onto distance. Scope on scope battle there, and Finter coming out on top. We do see Finter once again pushing over towards the B side with the bomb. And Shroom trying to bait out any fire he can. Wow, John takes a bullet right to the chest and absolutely brushes it off. Finter's going to be a little bit upset, but Trunk and Sexax is on top of that one. It is only Rapture left standing. He is over towards that A-Bins area. It's going to be very difficult for him to bring this one back, purely for the fact that the bomb is going down at B. The players are well spread out across the map, and he picks up Trunk, but Sexax is in there with the revenge frag, bringing it to 10-11. And it seems your prediction was wrong.
It was wrong, but it's pretty close if BallerS can pull off the next few rounds. But I do feel that eSuba aren't out of this game quite yet. Trunk running once again into A without fear, getting in there before the eSuba defense can establish their ground. Flashes are going out, but Trunk is waiting. Will take down one, spots another one on the statue, tagging him up, runs out of ammunition as he pulls out his second weapon, but falls to distant scope. Distant getting a second frag, a third frag, but this time on his teammate. Rapture is not going to be happy about that. John and Vithos remaining for BallerS now. They do know they have a lot to do. One defending B, one defending gate. That's the way they play. With eSuba cautiously sneaking around the back B. One is rotating though around to A, maybe trying to cause a distraction, trying to make BallerS think that they are in fact going for the A site. If he can pull this off, it should be eSuba's round, but it's a risky business, and Sexas must know that, darting towards that back calf. Flicking over to the scope now. Distant is in fact looking at that cafe area, so it could be now or never. Do they go? Do they go front? Whichever way they go, could cost them this round. Do have room lurking around the two remaining BallerS players, but Distant knows they're pushing to A. Is spot aiming it. The smoke cloud hasn't covered it yet. It has actually just been covered, but Shroom finds John. Will find Distant, and eSuba bring this back 11-11.
11-11, and the unfortunate thing now for BallerS is they have got that one player that is disconnecting, and that's always that little, you know, that little irritation for the team, you know, constantly demotivating them, you know, every 5 rounds, being kicked off, and you're like, oh damn, you know, scoreboard reset, so on and so forth. But Tom starting off strong this round, you know, trying to bring up the motivation a bit as he takes out Shroom. Mysak right back on that with an opening frag, and 4 opening frag grenades going out via either team, but Vithos' push into that mid shops is really going to cause some problems here for the eSuba side. They've got to try and shut him down as quick as they can, but he's darting left and right, and he's making it extremely difficult for the eSuba side to take him out. We do see Distant landing a couple of headshots there onto Sexax. Trunk is your last man standing. He knows one's up in mid, and he also knows where the other 2 players are. So he could play this one slowly and get a couple of picks. Can he find John here? He has tagged him up. He's going to be pushing forward. Does take out John. And now we do see Distant and Vithos, you know, teaming up together now as they try and stick together. They don't want to be left alone and picked off by Mr. Trunk. And has Trunk actually got the bomb? I'm not too sure, but he does go down to Vithos' AK, so it's not going to matter all too much. We do see BallerS on a map point.
Wasn't much they could do. They were in overlook. He had a valid attempt, and I'm going to give him the credit for that. But let's see how eSuba try and take this final round. Will they play it differently? It doesn't look like they will, as eSuba do look like they're sending Trunk in once again to try and clear out that A site. He hasn't gotten in again before the BallerS knows. This time BallerS don't seem to be sending anyone in too quickly. Maybe it's seeing eSuba are going to push before going in, but this time Trunk does go down to Vithos. Vithos has got the better of him, and that's going to be quite sore. this late on in the game, this much of a crucial round. And eSuba just being careful now. They can't afford to take any more losses. They are on the attack. They are spread quite thin on this map. Going for a split, but the split's not really working for them at this stage in the game. BallerS sitting patiently, sitting calm, and just waiting for the eSuba to run into them basically. And it does seem to be working for them so far in this round. Rapture though, feeling the pressure on the B side, is getting tagged up quite a bit. As eSuba seem to be making their way round to the B. There is one hovering in front of Isaac's sights, but it's hidden behind a flowery object, and he just can't see that frag. He has made a lot of noise. Surely that's going to give himself away. He's looking towards that enemy player once again. This is just heart-wrenching. He knows it's there. He knows it's so close, but he just can't seem to land the frag. Will jump on statue, will find Tom, and there's two on that A bin now, waiting for his A push. The bomb is looking like it's going to be rotated. Two smokes going in as Fithos pushes into statue, taking out Mizak, John taking out Troom, and Sexas taking out two BallerS players. This could be a Sexas could have won them this round, but can they finish it off? They are rotating onto the A side. They will need Sexas as the time ticks away in front of Finte's eyes. There is two onto the A bin. There's 3 seconds. 3 seconds, 2 frags, and no he can't. And BallerS have just snuck and taken this game away. I feel so sorry for eSuba after the performance they've just given.
Wow, that was really bringing it down to the last couple of seconds, and that nade, that single nade, changed it all.
He must have seen it coming, but there's nothing he could do once they've left it that late. He had to hope that they would only tag him and not take him out, and the chances of that are so unlikely at this level of play.
Definitely. Now we